Hi friends! So, if you're wondering about the hearts, about the makeup, it is because it's Valentine's Day as I'm recording this, so happy Valentine's Day! I originally didn't have in mind making a second part to the favorite black authors video, but I realized that I forgot to include the books that I read on Kindle, or like digital editions of the book. I'm so sorry to those authors. One of them is my mutual, and I forgot about them, I'm so sorry. But anyway, or I listened to an audiobook, but I'm gonna talk about that one now. I can talk about that one now. It is You Should See Me in the Crown by Leah Johnson. It is about a teenager. That bitch just flew into the camera. Okay. It is about a teenager who dreams of going to this school specifically for their orchestra program and to become a doctor. But it is a prestigious school, and she doesn't have her family doesn't have the money to send her there. So she had a financial program for her that fell through. And her other option is to run for prom queen, because prom queen in her school gets scholarships for college. And in the middle of this, because it's a romance, she falls in love with another girl that is also participating to be prom queen. And when I say that setup sounds very cute, sounds very fun, and it is, but at the same time, the way that it made me cry. I was listening to the audiobook on freaking Spotify, and it got to like close to the ending, basically. You have some stuff with her family, her brother specifically, he has a disease, her brother has a disease, and just she has anxiety, the main character has anxiety, and I could relate to that. Her mindset so much, it was absurd. So it got to close to the end of that book, and I was bawling my eyes out. Bawling my fucking eyes out. The romance is very adorable, and I also liked the family dynamics, of course, and the fact that she had a friend, if I'm remembering correctly, she had a friend, and they stopped being friends for a while, and through the course of the story they reconnect. So I love that kind of storyline as well, friends reconnecting. It is so wholesome. And then the other two books that I want to talk about that I read on Kindle, or well, one I read on Kindle, the other I read the ARC by the author. The author provided me a digital copy. Wow. But anyway, the first one is The Bennett Women by APPIAH-KUBI. This one is a Pride and Prejudice retelling. Yes. And it's about three girls. Well, technically it's about the main girl, but you have the three girls who are supposed to each represent one of the sisters from the original, except for one. One of the sisters in the original is not in the book. But they are in college, and they are part of this, I think it's a sorority, called the Bennett House. And it's their sanctuary for all things womanly. One of them is a trans woman, by the way. I was so happy to find that. I did not know that it had trans representation in this book. But anyway, the main character has this very specific plan for her life, and that does not involve her love interest. The guy that she meets, initially hates, and then grows to love through the course of the story. And she has to figure out if he fits in her plan or not. It gets a little angsty, but I fucking loved it. I really loved it. And then the other one, I just, no. Why did I do that? Why did I click that? Don't stop. The other one is called The Undead Truth of the Undead Truth of Us by Brittney S. Lewis. Just look at the cover and you'll see why I love it so much. I love Van Gogh, but no, I also love the storyline. It's in the characters and the writing style. I was really into it. You have the main character. She is a teenager as well, and she just recently lost her mom due to, I think it was cancer. It was a bad disease. And right before her mom dies, she sees her mom turn into a zombie. So naturally, she is very confused and scared. She doesn't know what it means. And then one day, this guy moves in across the street, and she also sees him turn into a zombie. Except he kind of like goes in and out from being a zombie. Sometimes he's a zombie, sometimes he's human. And she wants to find out what that means. She at the same time she wants to get her answers. She doesn't want to get close to anybody because after the death of her mom, she's very tender. She's very hurt, so she doesn't want to be in that position again. And the way that Brittney S. Lewis wrote grief, especially in a teenager, it hit very hard. It did. It hit so hard. And I loved the Van Gogh references, sequences, what to call them. He is one of my favorite artists of all time, so like the fact that this book has, it's pretty much paying ode to him in some way. I loved it, yes. Also, I decided to add some books that, a couple of books that are not by Black American authors. Because why not? They deserve love too. One is Blood Like Magic by Liselle Sambury. This is a blend of fantasy and sci-fi, and it deals with the main character who is in a family of witches, and she just got her awakening, I guess. And once a witch gets her awakening in the family, they need to go through a trial to find out what sorry, I'm a little tired. To find out what kind of magic they're gonna have. And so Voya gets her task, her trial, and her trial is to fall in love and kill her first love. Because the guy that she falls in love with is her first love. I didn't explain that right. So that's kind of impossible, isn't it? But it's also the fact that if she fails, her little sister dies. Yeah, this was very intense. And it was, wow. Also, more LGBT rep that I did not see coming, but 2 characters here are trans. You know, we have the love interest who's a trans guy, and you have one of her cousins who is a trans girl. Love to see that. But I loved the setting. I loved the way that the magic worked. I loved the fact that it was also a little bit like blended with horror. I could definitely tell that this author wrote horror or was a fan of horror because of the way that this was written. So I appreciated a lot of this book, this duology. The second book is so great as well. It just awesome. And the other one, this is by a Canadian from Trinidad. Yeah, Trinidadian Canadian author. And then this one is Charming as a Verb by PHILIPPE, is by an American Haitian author. No, New York based, born in Haiti and raised in Canada. So Canadian Haitian But anyway, this is about Henry, the main character of the book, who runs kind of like an illegal dog walking scheme. And one day, one of his classmates, Corinne, finds out and blackmails him. Yeah, this also deals with like him trying to do his best to go to this specific college that his dad went to, I think, and it's his dream college because of his dad. Like, his dad is like very important to the sense of desire that Henry has to go to this very specific college. And so, yeah, it deals with that with that whole problem. And this is a romance. And when I say that I fucking adored Corinne, I loved her so much. I think, to be honest, this might have been like the best female character I have ever seen a man write. No joke, like no exaggeration. She was just amazing. I loved her. Okay. I read this a bit like a while back, but it's very good. I loved the romance. I love the characters. And then the last one that I want to talk about, I actually read just this month. It's the book that I just finished. It's SETON Girls by Charlene Thomas. And this one, it's kind of like kept a mystery from the blurb, from like the summary of the book, from the start of the book. I don't know, you don't really get the impression that it's gonna talk about what it does, but it does. It goes there. I knew that it was gonna go there, but I would have appreciated a trigger warning, not from me specifically, but just like the subject matter. It should have a trigger warning, even if it's not. Oh no, it does. Haha. Oh my god. I was just complaining about it. I just found it. It has a trigger warning. Okay, I just didn't see it. I thought it was gonna be in like one of the pages on this side. It was on that side. It has a trigger warning. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Anyway, can't get over myself. This is about a group of girls from the school that they go to, SETON, and about the football team that they are all friends with, basically. The football team that is all guys. And one day, one of the main girls breaks up with her friend group, the girls, and subsequently the boys. It's because everyone hears like there's a big fight in the middle of the school. Apparently she had sex with one of her best friend's boyfriend, who's part of the football team. So the girl feels betrayed and she breaks off. Not her, but I think her. Maybe, I don't know who the character in the cover is supposed to be, because there's like three different girls who we get the POV of. I think maybe this is Brit. But anyway, she breaks off from the group. Brit is the name of the girl that breaks off. And then you have Allie, who writes for the school's journal, and she's like generally more quiet, more reserved, doesn't really mingle with everyone else, just her boyfriend, who's also on the football team. But because of what happens to Brit, she reaches out to Brit to find out what's happening. But Brit doesn't say what happens. That, well, Allie doesn't reach out first, actually. It's Brit who reaches out. But she doesn't say what happened. Not until, like, halfway into the book. And I don't want to say what it is, but I mean, I'm already spoiling it. If you don't mind spoilers, it is about sexual assault. You find out that that boyfriend, her friend's boyfriend, forced sex on her. And so there's a whole plot about trying to expose this dude. And I think it does a fantastic job at talking about sexual assault, just how ingrained it in men in society it is. The way that this author wrote the guys, because you get their POVs. Oh my fucking god! It felt so realistic. It felt so... Wow, they were giving me the creeps. They were save a few ones, they were giving me the fucking creeps. Like, oh, holy shit. But yeah, this is very well written. I love, like sometimes the prose gets a little bit flowery, a little bit purpley, and like I liked it. And I also loved the friendships. Like the girls, they're just love the friendships. They were great. They were great. And the love that Brit has for her friends, the way that she always proclaims it, it's... My heart loves that kind of thing. But yeah, that is all. I think I finally got through all of my favorite books written by Black authors. Until next year. Until next year. I still have a pretty sizable TBR over there. And I'm probably not gonna finish all of them by the end of February. But we'll see. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you like the video. And I will see you in the next one. Bye!